Back here at Kalgoorlie for the lucky last, it's the Access Higher Kalgoorlie Handicap over 1400 metres, a Class 2 event here. To be alive in the quaddie, you need Secret Attire in the first leg, Kakadu in the second, High Pressure in the third leg. Good luck if you're alive in that quaddie. And Debbonaire is the shortest way home. He's our favourite, currently $2.40, looking to go back-to-back for Fiona Scott after a very impressive victory this grade, Class 2, over 1200 metres. Now steps to the 1400 metres. Kevin Scott's just legged aboard Victoria Corver, who's looking for a double on today's program. Expecting here that Debbonaire, with even luck from barrier number 1, is the horse to beat. 61 kilos, hopefully won't worry him. He was very impressive last start. Hard not to continue to follow him until he does something wrong. Number 1, Debbonaire. Number 2, Scottish Laird, hoping to settle a little bit closer here today if circumstances permit. He's a 3-year-old who's only having his 8th career run. He's a 2-time winner so far, both at the Esperance Bay Turf Club. He was a winner of a maiden over 14 and a Class 2 over 1300 metres. He's out there with the clerk of the course under Brandon Louis with a red set of earmuffs on. He's a $20 chance here at his second up run of the prep. He was beaten 6 lengths first up by Debbonaire. Number 3, El Sueno, has his first start for Brett Drury. Had a couple of homes, started out with Holly Palmer and then went across to Grant and Alana Williams, and now with Brett Drury on the Goldfields. Only 17 days between runs, transferred from Grant and Alana Williams stable down in Perth, so he does have plenty of residual fitness here. They put a set of visors on today instead of the winkers. Cassie Martin brings the weight down to 57 kilos. And while beaten margins first up and second up, that is Class 3 Metro Company into a Class 2 in the country area here. Could be an improver at 20 to 1. Number 3, El Sueno. Number 4, I Am King. Thought this was an excellent run last start in the Debbonaire race. Went around 40 to 1 off a bit of a freshen up, a couple of weeks between runs, and was only 2 lengths off Debbonaire that day. But the wide barrier draw here put me off. Braden Garth riding for Gary Bowen is a $21 chance. Number 5, Military Action. The 2 favourites are the 2 well-supported runners here. It's $2.90 to $2.35 for Debbonaire, but this horse, Military Action, is the market mover, clearly. $8 into $3.60. Justin Robbins has only got a small handful of horses, but they're all going well, including this 4-year-old by Impending. He came to WA as a 14-start maiden who had never run a placing. He was a first-up winner leading throughout, and then he backed it up into a Class 2 when second behind Dreamtime Jean, a galloper of Hayden Ballantyne's who went around in the Belmont Guineas yesterday. So the form there is really good for Military Action. New horse, new stable. He's loving life on the Goldfields, and if he can find the front here, he's probably the horse to beat. So $3.60 in from $8, a very noticeable market move. Number 6, Set for Stardom. Chanel Cooper riding for Peter Fernie. Wide draw means he's likely to get back. He's yet to show his best in 2 runs in. He needs to improve this horse. He's 50 to 1. Number 7, Brazen Empress, is a filly by Safeguard, having her 3rd start at Kalgoorlie. Was a first-up winner without a trial and backed it up into a Class 2 in that same Debbonaire race as I Am King, Debbonaire and Scottish Laird and others. Thought she was really good from off the pace that day. Can settle closer from a better barrier. Tash Faithful has already ridden a double, looking for a treble here, and Brazen Empress is a $5.50 chance. Number 8, Lacey Ace, last start maiden winning filly trained by Helen Harding. Maddie Derrick rode her that day, rides her again here. Was a last to first victor, so it was impressive, but this bigger field and the wider draw is definitely not going to be of any assistance. And the stablemate Yak Yak, who performed moderately earlier in the day, is now a 30-odd start maiden. So I'm not quite sure on the quality and depth of that as a form reference. $19 about number 8, Lacey Ace. Number 9, Novatorio, has her first start for Peter Fernie. She's had 8 down in the metropolitan provincial area in WA for Michael Lane, and she's now been sent to the Goldfields. Didn't mind her last start run. She was ridden by Cassie Martin, and she never really got out until late, and she was only 2.5 lengths off Lyndon's Gold. It was clearly the best run this filly had put in the preparation. She's now 4th up with a senior rider going on, an $8.50 chance, Novatorio. Number 10, Aiden's Choice, is trained by Gary Bowen. Keshel Do Run to Ride. Did show some speed in a West Speed Platinum back over the Kalgoorlie round last season, but has yet to show that speed this time in. Has settled in the second half of the field at all 3 runs. So you'd imagine from that wide draw, he's probably going to end up conceding them a big head start, and he'd need to improve the way he's going to be figuring in the finish. He's a $26 chance, number 10, Aiden's Choice. Now, number 11, Moonlight River, and number 12, She's a Machine, were both late scratchings this morning. No available riders for that pair, so they both come out, numbers 11 and 12, leaving us with the final horse here, the Grey Venacious, number 13, Paul Tapper and Christy Bennett. Paul Tapper's already trained a winner on today's program. Christy looking for her first winner today. Speedy type of mare. They sat her last start and she never got into the contest, so I'd imagine that they go back to what is tried and tested and proved good for her, and that is to ride her for speed from an inside draw. 30 to 1 chance. She could definitely run a minor placing here, a third or fourth type selection if you're looking for a wider value runner into novelties. 90 seconds away from the lucky last, $2.60 in from $2.90 Debbonaire, but the talking point in this race is clearly Military Action. $8 into $3.40 as Lisa Staples looks for a treble and Justin Robbins looks for yet another winner this season. My numbers are 1, 5, 7 and 3. I did think that this was almost a race between Debbonaire and Military Action, and I sided up with Debbonaire off the strength of his last start victory. Put the wall at his first outing for Fiona Scott with a really good third behind a talented horse called Dreamtime Jean. Last start winner, rises 1.5 kilos to 61 and is drawn barrier number 1, so you probably will be in an awkward spot if you are aboard this horse at some stage. Expect that Victoria Corver probably looks to hold leaders back, and from there she's just going to need to push her way into the clear at some stage. I think that Debbonaire can get the job done here and go back to back. Military Action, the money is spot on in my eyes. 8 to 340 is a really good go, should land in the right place at the right time. Number 7, Brazen Empress, was a good effort off the speed last start and can settle closer today. And 3, El Sueno, a bit of a watch first start for the new yard. 1, 5, 7 and 3 for me in the lucky last. Good luck if you're having a bet or if you're alive in the quaddie. Royce Newton to call them home in the Access Higher Kalgoorlie Handicap, the last here on Mines Rovers Football Club Day.
Tash Faithful, who has ridden races 3 and 4, Let Sparks Fly, Secret Attire, her 2 winners. Both for Peter Fernie, and Balbeck got up in the first for Fernie with Chanel Cooper in the saddle, so good racing, high pressure. The winner of the previous race, a feature on the card. This is of course the Access Higher Kalgoorlie Handicap. And in fact, the lady jockeys have taken out every race today. So Aiden's Choice to come forward. Venatia still out of line. The rider of I Am King just dismounts. So out of the saddle is Braden Garth. Favouritism with Debbonaire, 245 fixed. 290 on tote, 360 about Military Action. Brazen Empress at $6, Nova Torio 9. The upwards others. So perhaps just the one to come forward. Now Venacious the Grey from the Tapper Yard. These colours have saluted today already in the form of Bad Boy Boo. So I'm not sure if there's one more hidden. No, that looks to be it. So stand by. No, it's Scottish Laird still to come forward as well. So Scottish Laird just emerges from behind the barrier bus and will come up and complete the line. Brandon Louis in the saddle. Debbonaire, your favourite. Good little race, this one. Debbonaire was mighty impressive last start. So Scottish Laird goes forward, 1,400 metres ahead of the field. Stand by. We're set to go. Race number 7 on the card, 357 to be alive in the quaddie. And there we go. Gates fly back. They're off racing from the 1400. Aiden's Choice from out wide with early speed. Likewise, Lacey Ace. Debonaire's going to kick up and be prominent as well. And likewise with Brazen Empress. So as they sort themselves out, it's Lacey Ace trying to cross. Between runners is Brazen Empress and Debbonaire, the top weight down on the inside. They were followed by Military Action, and then we had Scottish Laird to the outside. Venatia sitting midfield together with Nova Torio. A length then to Aiden's Choice, followed by El Suno, set for stardom. And it's I Am King who's at the tail. So they head to the side of the course. 800 metres to run. Brazen Empress showing the way by a length. Lacey Ace second. Now down on the inside, Debbonaire the favourite with the 61 kilos on his back getting a plum run. They were followed by Scottish Laird fourth. A further length and a half. Then we have Military Action. Then in between runners, it's Nova Torio, Venacious the fence, Aiden's Choice off the track. El Suno well back together with Set for Stardom. And it's I Am King who's spotting the leader 10 lengths as they come into the straight. It's Brazen Empress given full bore now. Shows away by 2. Look at Debbonaire. The rider hasn't moved yet. And Debbonaire just sidles up next to Brazen Empress and takes the lead. So Debbonaire at the furlong pole takes the lead. Now asked for Brazen Empress second. Third, Military Action. But this looks a pretty smart horse. And Debbonaire, as easy as you like, goes on and wins the last. Wins by 2. Brazen Empress just fell in for second ahead of Military Action, I fancy. They were followed in by Aiden's Choice, El Suno, Set for Stardom, No Vittorio. They're coming in at big intervals. Scottish Lead was next, followed by Venacious, Lacey Ace, and last to greet the judge was I Am King. Debbonaire. Jesus, looks to have plenty of class, this horse. Put the writing on the wall with that third after a long layoff. 2 starts back. And then last start on that soft track, really reeled in the leader with ease. And Victoria Corver hardly having to move today. She's been aboard the horse for its last 2 wins. And that was as strong as they come. 123.53, the winning gallop for Debbonaire. Fiona Scott and Victoria Corver combining. This Esperance trained galloper looks to have a future. That's 3 wins from 10 starts now. And 2 at the KBRC. 7 second, Brazen Empress for Pete Fernie and Tash Faithful. Third will be the 5. That's Military Action, who's hit the line in good style. And the 6 gets 4th. That's Set for Stardom. Peter Fernie and Chanel Cooper. 2 1/4 lengths. The margin by a long head. And 123.53. Debbonaire. Fiona Scott, Victoria Corver by Piero from La Moulin, owned by Pancho Harding, gets the job done. Second in, Brazen Empress, good run. Pete Fernie and Tash Faithful combining by Safeguard from Paris Memory, owned by the Gold Lights Nominees Proprietary Limited Syndicate. Third in the 5, Military Action, Justin Robbins and Lisa Staples by Impending from Colleen, owned by Justin himself and A. Hughes. And 6 gets 4th. That's Set for Stardom, Pete Fernie and Chanel Cooper. 1-7-5-6 interim, but by geez, that was a very impressive win. And looking forward to seeing this horse back at the races next time. 1-7-5-6 interim.